name's Jules and my company's called Inner Journey. I'm writing a book of that same name which really illustrates what it's all about. It's called Inner Journey, The Way Home. So my work is all about that journey within us to enlightenment, to liberation, to peace, joy and love, the experience of being, of transcending this egoic world really. I'm passionate about moving out of this world that is so full of pain and darkness and stress and anxiety and sickness. And it seems to me that everywhere that people look, they're surrounded by darkness. And what I've come to understand is that it doesn't have to be like that. That what we see is a result of what's going on in our minds. And everybody knows about the expression, you create your own reality, but I don't think they really understand quite how powerful and meaningful that is. From my perspective, from my work of many decades, the contents of our heads are directly reflected in the world we see. There isn't one world. Every single person has got a different world, a different experience of reality. And we could really measure this. You say, what does your world look like? What percentage is it happy, sad, miserable, stressful? And then you could say that reflects exactly what the contents of your head is. So my work is about being able to understand what's going on in our heads and shift out of that, to move through it. And the principal tool that I use for that is the tool of forgiveness, which comes from the teachings of A Course in Miracles. And it's an extraordinary tool because most of us come from a place of feeling guilty, of feeling somehow not quite good enough, not as good as other people, and we project that out into the world. We feel scared. So we're running, we're just one step ahead of our fear, and nothing works. So when we come to this great teaching of forgiveness, we forgive ourselves, we forgive other people, we forgive the world, we forgive everything that's going on. Not really anything to do with what anybody's actually done, but because a state of living with grievances and judgments makes us miserable, ruins our lives. Then we project that out, we feel like the world out there is attacking us, but it came from our heads. And when we work with forgiveness, what happens is bit by bit, we let go of our own pain, our own guilt, our own fear, and our world shifts. It's so beautiful. I am completely passionate about using this forgiveness to gradually dissolve all our internal pain and suffering and watch as that's reflected in the world outside. And I can truly say to you, after decades of this work, I now see such a beautiful world. My job is not to look at the darkness, my job is to look at the light and help other people too. As I work with people, I see their lives change too, their worlds change. It's deeply moving, it's beautiful, it's often really, really hard work for people. It's been really hard work for me, but I've stayed with it. And now I love it. I can say to people, you do this, if you work with this forgiveness, this deep awareness, your world will change. You will be happy. All the disasters and the chaos and the problems that people expect their lives to be filled with, they get gaps in between them. It all slows down and gradually they disappear. Nothing is a problem anymore. It's just a situation to deeply accept and be with. That means you move through it and you move back into joy, peace and love, which are the fundamental experiences on the spiritual path. People have to have a picture in their minds. They can't, I think at the beginning when you start on this spiritual journey, people are doing a bit of yoga and a bit of Reiki and a bit of this, that and the other, and it's all great stuff, but it's peripheral. It's around the edges of things. At some stage they have to get off the edges and come deep into their hearts and their spirit, into the place where I call the formless place, beyond all expressions of life, into that energy that is pure life itself. It's light, it's love, it's bliss. That's where we're going. I run ongoing groups and day workshops, retreats in this country and abroad. I do spiritual counselling where people can come to me and we go deeply into whatever issues are going on for them. It's taking them into understanding their own spiritual journey, letting go of the issues that are bothering them and working towards this vision. So it's about helping people get the picture, the vision of what they can be and helping them to find the tools to take them there. In the workshops we do dancing, chanting, singing, We do meditation, exercises, self-inquiry, art, all the things that I can bring to people to help break down their walls, get into their deep heart's awareness and help them to see that they really can reach this place of light and love. I feel that what happens in the workshop is that people, they open their hearts. They touch one another beyond their physical natures. They find a level of connection, which is part of being enlightened. They actually find the place where they're one, and people learn to love each other. The retreat centre in Spain is called Land of Light. Its name was originally Tierra de la Luz, which means Land of Light, but we decided to use both names. It's the most beautiful place that I found almost by accident when I was looking for somewhere. We arrived at this place that was all green and shimmering in the evening light, and I went up on my own and I walked around the terraces and my whole body was vibrating, and I just came down 5 minutes later and said, I'll have this. And all I had to my name was 5,000 euros, which wasn't going to buy it. I knew that I had to buy it. And to cut a long story short, other people came in with me, and 4 years later we now have a beautiful little house. We have a huge Mongolian yurt, which is our group room. We're making a little natural pool. There's springs and grottos, fruit trees, flowers, a compost loo, outdoor showers, just this whole magical place, and views over the Gador Mountains in the distance. And we're running our first retreat there next year.